Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we are back to our Stellaris in-depth tutorial. We are well on to getting close to 20 episodes now. We got a ways to go on this game. Let's run that clock. We're going to run the clock fast because we got to start moving through here. So we just, by the way, finished colonizing Niam, and we had realized that it had damage to the planet. Habitability dropped to 45%, so we decided to do gene clinics, which is going to help boost the habitability by 5%. Yeah? Yeah, planet habitability. It's the little guy with the umbrella, it looks like, and it's showing a 5% there, plus amenities and all the other good stuff. But yeah, let's run that clock forward.
System survey complete.
Ooh, excellent. Unusual energy readings. This is coming from Brius 6A. This is Jessica reporting in on an easy potential anomaly. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this moon. It might have been a glitch in our systems, or it could be a sign of something more. Yeah, we're going to have her research that. Obviously, she'll have it done in 2 months. Now, we are 33 years into the game here. At the year 2300, we'll start the mid-game. We'll play through for 100 more years. And at 2400, we'll start the end game, where we'll have another 100 years. But because we are sitting on top of the victory conditions, we can kind of run for it at this point. We're in pretty good shape. So there's you can like take all the time you want and like micro every decision, but if you're playing in a real-time game with other people, multiplayer, it's going to clip along. And if you don't actually want to spend 40 hours on a single playthrough, you want to get it done on a long Saturday or something, you're going to put in like 6 hours, 8 hours, you could do it, but you got to run your clock and you got to move through your choices reasonably rapidly. Magnetic reversal. The magnetic field in Brius 6A experienced a complete reversal while it was being observed by the UNS Darwin. This rare event has interchanged the positions of the moon's magnetic poles. Fortunately, it was all recorded by the sensors of our ship, providing our scientists with a lot of valuable data. And we just gained a physics dump for our physics piggy bank. Very cool. And we have a migration treaty proposal between the Ishnians and the Juvens. So anytime you see a little window pop up like this, where there's no options for you, the player, it could be confusing because it's just to say, no, this is between these other species. Your intel or your embassies with them is getting you the information on what their relations are. So it looks like they're getting along and they've agreed to a migration treaty. Very cool. Their populations may now freely move between the two empires. And we have a migration treaty, or we did with the Juvens, which is allowing us to put them out here at Lake Niam, right? It gives you, when you're able to do that, your tolerance for the variety of worlds greatly increases. So that's one reason why being a xenophile as opposed to a xenophobe can let you spread much more quickly through non-militaristic means. There you go. All right, we'll close that down. Let's pause, though. We do want to make sure we're staying on top of here. So Ishnians and the Juvens have a commercial pact. Ishnians and Juvens have a research pact and a trade migration treaty. So they are fully integrating their societies, which makes sense. Remember, the Juvens are vassalized to us. You can see here, vassal under United Nations of Earth on that little pop-up. I would love for the Ishnians to vassalize to us as well. Now, if the Juvens and the Ishnians are getting along, and we can get along with the Ishnians, although we did just invade them a little bit, but you can see their sphere of influence is getting crushed down. The actual geographical, spatiographical area is pretty much the same size as the Juvens, if not smaller. So they will get gobbled up by the other Xenos out there. I can see the Natfankin Citizen Compact. Not that it really... Yeah, I guess these are star systems, right? Yeah, so it's got quite a bit of room to spread, and potentially can spread to the galactic south this way. Now, we're assuming there's an entire another hidden Xenospecies down here that we haven't met yet. So, but yeah, I would love for the Ishnians to vassalize to us. Should we try to do that? Yeah? Maybe we should take a look at that real quick here. Let's just check, though. System survey done down here. Let's zoom in. Yeah. Brius is finished. And it looks like this is the dead end out this way. I can't be 100% certain, but let's move her forward. Let's move the Darwin forward to here. This might be a good choke-off point if we can capture the remainder of this arm. So let's send her in right now to survey that system. And yeah, because we do have to be a little bit careful about our empire size. Remember, we're going to backfill in all these other star systems, all these little pockets here that we haven't claimed yet. We will claim those over time, but that's going to really boost our overall empire size, which will slow our research and it'll slow our unity growth through the traditions tree. So we need to be a little cautious about that. But yeah, there's a couple dozen systems left for us to claim. So if we can seize this and lock it here, provided there's no other way out of this, this should be the end point. Like I honestly, and I know I keep saying that, how far can we go? Well, we haven't met aliens yet, but at some point, it's not going to benefit us to control half the galaxy. It just isn't going to give us that much more. In particular, and you go, but why not? You're going to have more resources. You're going to have more star bases, more populations. Yeah, there's a delicate balance there. Because if you have a little pocket empire sitting over here, but they're researching everything 33% faster than us, because we're getting our technological cost right now is at a plus 13, but what if that gets to a plus 50, right? Now it just means and that's our traditions as well. So it's slowing down all those other idea powers, right? Because traditions in research are ideas versus production. So the faster that we can get access to ideas, it can greatly magnify. One building can make your civilization twice as effective, approximately, at harvesting a given resource or how much access you have to that resource than if you don't have it. Or up here for these rare resources, until you get the technology to gather Zro or dark matter, you don't have it. So we could have a massive sprawling empire that takes up half the galaxy, but if we haven't gotten to the dark matter gathering technology yet, and some other little guys over down in the corner there, sorry, get it? Yeah, then they're going to have that advancement. We won't, whatever the benefits that gives them, which will be powerful benefits. So got to be cautious on how much you spread out there. But yeah, I think we're in a good shape. And then construction completed, sure. We just finished the Lishfall system, and actually we have a colony ship ready to colonize. 65% on Lishfall 2. So I think we got a bonus somewhere from something. I can't quite remember what that was. But yeah, it's looking great, folks. Let's move the India onto Brius. We have exactly 52 influence, so I believe that's our threshold cap. And I think the last system we claimed was up here at Drismac. We grabbed it. That's awesome. I wanted Drismac because it was loaded with stuff. Yeah, look at that. Physics, society research, minerals, energy. Looking at our other systems, none of them are huge standouts. I'm looking at Botan's not bad with the 8 mineral. Let's see, what else do we have? Lingle, actually pretty solid, although we can't get the Zro yet. Runa is pretty poor. Asmore's poor. Bernard Star, are we? We need to survey Bernard Star. Good grief. I don't think we have we surveyed it yet? Well, let's see. Once the Gagarin, once Herman's done with that anomaly, the relocation of the Dathnak gas giant species, we'll see about surveying the rest of Bernard Star. Anything else, though? Nothing else really stands out. So yeah, we'll keep pursuing this way. So yeah, we're going to take the India and we're going to have her build the star base, consuming the remainder of our influence, and the Darwin will continue on here. And then we'll use our couple of science ships to branch out. With any luck, this archaeological site will wrap up pretty shortly, and then we can send the Armstrong on to backfill all of these. You can see that the Ishnians, in fact, have 3 science ships out here in this sector, and they're scouting out all of this. I guess because we have a peace treaty, our borders are porous to them. We can't prevent them from moving through our space for the 10 years of the peace treaty. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go to our contacts. Let's jump to the Ishnians. Now, the Ishnians are sitting at a plus 47 with us. That's cool. And it is not... Let's infiltration. I'm trying to see if it's growing or declining. Yeah, last month it went by +1. So it is improving. Here is our truce with them, and that goes till 2241. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 10 years then. If we finished that war up roughly 2 years ago, so that's a 10-year peace treaty, and I guess they can't close borders until then. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I would love for them to vassalize. While we have them, let's jump to diplomacy. We are pleased to hear from you. Human friends. Oh, they like us. Establish embassy check. Is that check as in we've done that? Whoa. Yeah, let's confirm it. Acceptance, 113%. They definitely want to do that. Yeah, let's confirm it. And improve relations right there. We have now a variety of envoys. We will choose Kagiso, Zengwa, and we'll hit accept. And that should help push up even quicker on that. So let's just run the clock real quick.
Construction complete.
Boom. Pausing it again. Ooh, last month it changed by 0. That did not help us. Now, the Istians only have 4 planets. Juvans have 6. The Nafcan only have 4. Wow, we're really rushing ahead. Especially considering the Juvans are equivalent to us, have the next most planets, and they are vassalized to us. I want the Ishnians to vassalize to us. It'd be a quick way to get a win early in the game, is if we could just vassalize everyone. All right. What else do we got going on here? Established embassy. Very cool. We're deeply honored that you value the relationship between our nations so highly. Awesome. They're inferior to us in all aspects. Fleet, economic, and technological. We'll say okay. Close that down, and then yeah, we just finished that up. Gosh, I'm not even sure what to do with these extra constructors at the moment. I guess we'll just advance the Adriatic to here. I don't even know what to do with her. Yeah, and then the other construction complete is where? Right there. Yeah, Drismac just finished up. So at this point, Drismac, the Yangtze needs to backfill. So we'll send it to Robalius, move here. It's going to be a long road to claim all these with the starports, but we'll get it done. And let's run that clock. Got a special project just completed. I'm looking over here at our planets real quickly, just checking to see if anything's in a bad situation. Yeah, this just means we have additional building slots. No big deal. I think everyone's in pretty good shape over here. Our fleets don't need upgrading. So let's go jump back to this special project. Science Officer Herman Wagner has finished supervising the relocation of the Dathnak to their new home. A convoy of civilian freighters equipped with massive pressurized gas tanks ferried the gaseous beings across space and deposited them into the gas giant's atmosphere. Their ancient transmitter and scanner array were also brought along. And you could see like the large spheres, which is, I guess, a good shape to contain gas. Like a balloon. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty cool that the image actually matches. Hail them. And Bernard Star 1 adds a +5 society, I guess, because we can now research that planet in the Drathnak Society. Cool. No video feed. We're forever in your debt. Okay, sorry. Vlur popped up. We'll read Vlur, we'll get back to the Dathnak. An extremely powerful subspace entity of some kind has been encountered in the Srudma system. It does not appear hostile and may even be fully aware of conventional... and may not even be fully aware of conventional spacecraft, but his mere presence in Srudma is causing massive subspace disturbances in the entire system. These disturbances are located around the entity itself and should disappear when it leaves the system. While it does not acknowledge hails, the entity is continually emitting a complex pattern of tachyon pulses which appear to be a form of language. If our translation software is correct, it is saying over and over, Vlur seeks, Vlur finds. This will interfere with ship systems. Okay, we will want to hunt that down wherever that sucker is right now. I'm not exactly sure. Back to the Drathnak, though. This planet has exceeded our expectations. For the first time in generations, our young can frolic in the upper atmosphere without starting to glow. We've dedicated to call... We have decided... Not dedicated. We've decided to call our new home Balderak after your species. Future generations of Dathnak shall always know the name of their saviors. Balderak? We're humans. Really? Could have sworn. Apologies. But it can be difficult to tell you solids apart. I'm afraid it's too late to change the name now. It has a nice ring to it, though, don't you think? Good luck with your new home. Thanks again, dear friends. May the atmospheric currents always keep you aloft. Okay. I have a feeling we have not seen the end of them. I do want to hunt down Vlur, though. Where the frack is Vlur? Is this Vlur? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Let's jump in here. There is a planet, by the way. Potentially habitable. I like that. And this alien monstrosity is Vlur. Oh, wow. It's just a glowing ball of energy? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. There's not really much to look at there. Vlur is a void cloud. 28k military power. I guess those tachyon beams. I don't know what that would do to us, but a lot of shield, no armor. So if you wanted to take on Vlur, you'd have to burn through 40,000 shield. So you'd choose weapons that are effective against shield, obviously. Otherwise, I don't know there's really anything we can do with that. Let's click on our science guy and right-click on Vlur. Following Vlur. Yeah, there's no mission there for Vlur properly. So I don't actually want to do that. Not disband. Stop. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have her just continue to survey the system. I don't know what Vlur does, although if we click on the system, you can see down here the environmental effects. Sublight speed reduction 50%, ship fire rate minus 15. And I'm guessing that's coming from Vlur. Right? Like this space storm is probably because of Vlur, if I had to guess. Okay, or it's in a nebula or something. I don't know. Time is racing forward. What else do we... Oh, shoot. Dang it. I forgot all about this. Colony at Lishfall 2. Where are you at, baby? Right there. Right-click. Colonize planet. Shit. Lishfall Prime. They would have been done by now. It's okay. Starbase construction complete. And we had built the Olam starbase because of piracy, if I'm not mistaken. Let's click in there. Let's take a quick look at the trade routes. If we back out, yeah. You can see the Red Skull. We talked a bit about trade policies last time. I was a little boring, and I'm not super up on it. Is it complex? I don't know. I don't think it's a complex system. I just think it's very opaque. And you're just trying to count up simple numbers like protection range and all this stuff. And yeah, I think they could have done a better job with it. I'll be really honest. I just think every system should just have a simple protection number. I don't know. I don't know what you could do. But let's not overthink it. Let's jump back in. I can see that there is in fact piracy here and here that needs to be mitigated. And if I scroll out a little bit, scroll in a little bit, I only see 2 red skulls pretty much everywhere. Remember, white skulls means that your piracy protection is better than the amount of piracy, so you're able to stop it. But anytime you are too far away, it will get out of hand. So that's what we gotta mitigate out. So if we go to Olam, what can we do? Let's jump to our modules. We can make a trade hub, which will increase the collection range of this starbase. The current range of the starbase, again, is 0. And protection range is 0. Trade protection is 8. In this system only. And it obviously collects from this system only. Because the range is 0 within the system. Okay, so knowing that, we want to, make a trade hub. And if we add a gun battery, we can increase the protection range by 1 and the trade protection by +5. So 8 will become 13. Cool, let's do it. I don't think we need anything else there. And then is there anything we can do down here to help with... No. Mr. Defense, shield stuff, comms, target uplink. I don't think we're going to have a battle in here. Resource silo? Potentially. Yeah, you want to do that? Look, we don't need crew quarters because this is well within our territory, so we don't have to worry about docking ships here. Let's throw on a research silo. I don't need it. I would rather have a nebula refinery, but for now we'll just throw in a research. Who cares? We'll do it. It'll increase the caps up here a little bit, and if we get something nice like a hydroponic farm, we'll pull that out. We'll scrap it. But yeah, it'll give them something to build for a while. So we'll check back in on Olam once those upgrades are done. Okay. That was our starbase construction completed. We have another... Oh, God, we got all sorts of crap going on. The birth of space piracy. Son of a beep. Happened at 34 years after the start. Okay, we got quite a few things to handle here, folks. As civilian travel in space becomes more commonplace, several powerful criminal organizations on Earth have sensed an opportunity to expand their operations. They've converted a number of civilian freighters into improvised warships with which they raid civilian shipping lanes for booty. We know they call themselves the Death Cabal, and that that's a sick name, that's sick. And they have struck several times against our vulnerable trade routes in the Wasset system. Every effort must be made to bring these criminals to justice. They will be brought to justice. That's exactly what we're planning on doing. Okay, I'm going to pause the clock here real quick, because there's Wasset, there's the pirate fleet coming into 614. It's not too big of a deal. We can handle it. And if we jump into the battle here, you could see the fleet is coming in on our starport. Yeah, they're going to attack it. They're going to crush it. You can see the 225 is no match. They're outnumbered like 3-1 on firepower. So the pirates are going to capture that functionally. Let's immediately take our first fleet, which is sitting at 968 firepower. We'll send it in. It's not very far. They should be able to wreck those guys. So we're going to close down that. What else do we have here? Terraforming planet found. It's Shrudma. Okay, that's down here. Yeah. So Tundra World, 30% habitability. It's not great. We're not getting a colony on that anytime soon, but it could be terraformed eventually. What else do we have? Great. The India just completed construction, so we will have her build the mining stations and then the research station. I see quite a bit of good trade down here. We'll have to get the, probably have a lot of trade coming from these branches of the galaxy. We'll get those tied in eventually. And we have a archaeological site discovered here at Shrudma. Shrudma 2C appears to be a standard habitable planet, but on closer inspection, our research team has spotted large deposits of fossils in seemingly well-preserved conditions. Interestingly, large clusters contain multiple specimens on the same layer, indicating that they either died at the same time or placed there intentionally. Examination of these remains gives us the opportunity to better understand the evolutionary process of the species inhabiting this planet. Difficulties coming in at a 2, so hard. Okay, well, it's better than difficulty 4. Hell, like there's different levels, but we want to get on that. However, we could probably wait for the Armstrong to finish up on this archaeological site at Ejok. Then we'll send them down and they'll take on Shrudma. That'll be a few years out, but we have a plan for that. Very cool. And then we did... who's doing the thingy right there? Oh, cool. Yeah, we just finished the Binder base. Let's jump in. We have the trade hub. We have the gun battery for trade and also for protection, and we've got the crew quarters because we want to keep our ships docked there. Now, we are going to be upgrading ships by running them back to the Zvox. That'll be our repair place to build new ships and upgrade them. Otherwise, this is purely a trade / military outpost. Let's look at our fleets real quick. Let's get the second fleet added into the 5th. We can. Interesting. What's going on there? What's going on there? What's with this ship? Okay. I'm just surprised I can't squeeze her into one of these. It's odd. That is why. That is because of our fleet size. Yeah. And I find that interesting here. I don't quite understand this. I see 1 of 40, I see 29 of 40, and I see 26 of 40. And down here, you can see 29 of 30, 26 of 28. These are Corvettes. 26 of them, they want 28. 29, they want 30. This is a Corvette. How odd that won't fit in there. There's little things about Stellaris that even after years of playing it, this is always what's... I don't know if it's a strength of Stellaris, its opaqueness, or a weakness. I think in a sense, when there's new things to discover in a game, it can keep it fresh for longer, right? But this just doesn't make sense. I have a Corvette. This is literally saying they want more Corvettes. Like, I mean, you guys tell me, here, I'm going to grab a Corvette. I have headroom. I drop it in. I click it. No. Why? Is it not there physically? Is it traveling there? Yes. There you go. There's a way to figure shit out.
Colonization in progress.
Okay. Couple things going on here. Event Chain Habitable World Survey. Ooh, did we complete it? We did. Oh, that last world down there in Shrudma was the final world we needed for that event chain. If you guys recall, let's just jump up here real quick. Situation log. Habitable World Survey. 8 of 8. We did it. We did it. That was the final one. Very cool. So here we go. Through our surveys of habitable worlds, our biologists have collected a vast amount of data on alien life forms. Many of our older theories of the development of life have been disproved, and our scientific community has had to build new models from scratch. Our most interesting findings are being displayed at the newly dedicated Museum of Exobiology on Earth. The public is enthralled, and many donations have come in to aid the continued search of strange life forms. Excellent. Ends the Habitable World Survey event chain. Society research gained 6,063. That's a lot. And 1,000 energy credits straight up. Excellent. I'm gonna stop the clock here real quick. I did want to look at a couple things quickly. We're looking at Binder, which was just completed, and you'll notice that Binder has jumped up to 1,000K. That's pretty sizable. That's like the firepower of like one of our 30 Corvette fleets. And you can get them way higher than that. I mean, obviously, we could pull out the trade hub, put in more gun batteries or whatever. We could switch out some buildings with stuff that would increase the range or, subtract from shields. So you can make this even more defensible. We could even add on defensive platforms to beef that up even more. But yeah, just by putting in a gun battery, you can push that up significantly. Give it some real firepower. So I like that. If we look at our trade routes, we can see collection range, protection range, with the trade protection of 13. So that is what we're getting off of the Binder system. I like it. Now, we are under attack somewhere here, probably. We'll get to that in a minute. I also just realized we can actually harvest volatile motes at the Stratal system, but we are not. Ah, crap. Let's get the Yang Z in there. Build that station. Right, we're just going to have the Yang Z sit at Robalius, but we should go through and check on any other space nuts we can harvest. No. I think we got them all. I think it's looking pretty good. What are we doing here? Oh boy, Gagarin. Herman's doing nothing. Let's have them finish surveying the Bernard Star system. But that society is looking pretty good. We're probably going to want to bring Bernard Star in, considering that +5 society sitting there right now. Lishval is currently colonizing. And yeah, we'll zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Let's run that clock. Interesting earthquake going on. The unstable tectonic plates of Niam Prime have just violently shifted once again. Reports on the damage to the colony are just starting to arrive. Let us hear it. Recent tectonic event modifier added for 12 months, 1 year. Happiness -5%. Okay, we'll look at NIAM real quick. I'm going to pause the clock. I'm going to jump back up here. What? This Corvette has just been sitting here this whole time. I don't know why. It's no big deal. I'm going to enter orbit of Bender because I want the Corvette to join. I just don't know why a single Corvette has just been sitting here. Did I tell it to do that? How did I ever separate one Corvette from the rest of my fleets? Okay, that's fine. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Earthquake damage reports. A recent earthquake has staggered our colony on Niam Prime, caused no damage. Oh, good. Okay, I don't know if there's anything we could have done about that anyway. Let's bounce out. Or actually, let's let that Corvette get there. Boom. It's there. It has arrived. Now, when I click on this, I can grab the damn ship, pop it in there. There you go. Okay. I was losing my mind about nothing. That's one of those odd little things. If you ever do that and you're trying to combine stuff and you're going, why can't I combine these fleets? It's probably because one of the fleets isn't by the other fleet. Dadoy. I just, for the life of me, can't figure out how a single Corvette got stuck where it was. I literally have no idea how that happened. Okay. I'm not going to sweat it. Let's move on. Up to Niam? Yeah. Here we go. What's happening here? She had an earthquake. Oh, God. So this is just ongoing natural disasters. Unstable tectonics. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Excuse me. It's literally saying that the planet's going to suffer from disaster after disaster. So we need some sort of ability to stabilize tectonic stabilization technology, potentially to fix this, if it's fixable at all. We have the wild storms, and we have the recent tectonic events, which fortunately is only affecting happiness, not habitability. It is what it is. And you can see we have our 2 jobs here. No medical workers yet, but as population grows, they'll jump into those medical worker jobs, and that'll help us out quite a bit. So I think that looks good. I don't think there's anything we need to do there on their behalf at the moment. Let's run the clock. Ooh, hold on. We got battle here. So you can see here is our star base, or star port. Yeah, right? No, it's an outpost. My bad. Outpost. I always can't keep track of those things. So the outpost has not fallen yet, though. If I'm not mistaken, they got a... let's see. How do I... No, I'm trying to... Oh, there we go. Hull points, 2019. So they're still fighting. The pirates had not taken them down yet. And you can actually see that the station has done quite a bit of damage to the pirate fleet. It was sitting at 650-ish. Here comes our fleet. We'll slow the clock down 2 clicks just so we can watch this fight. You see these are the little pirate fleets here. We'll make pretty short work of these guys. Shields are failing. It's nice that our station was able to help us out. I don't think we lost any Corvettes in that fight, which is what we want. We zoom out. Now, one thing I'll warn you of is occasionally, if pirates are allowed to linger for too long in one of your systems, they can build a pirate station off on the outskirts. So you may send in your fleet, you may free your station, but there could still be, like, essentially on an asteroid or something, a pirate hideout. You have to then send your fleet on to destroy that little... It's like it's their base. You destroy their base, and you can usually capture a little bit of minerals and energy back, like you get their pirate booty. So it pays off. But the threat remains. Again, you can get your station back, but the threat's there. I only point it out because it's easy to miss it, because a lot of times you're watching like this, zoomed in, and the pirate base is literally over here on the outskirts of the system. And it's not obvious, especially if it's a busy system with a lot of mining stations and whatnot. It's easy to miss. So live and learn. What are you going to do? Awesome. So we've cleared out that problem. I immediately want to send these guys back for repair. Holy shit. They're going to go to Olam for repair? Olam can't repair them. That's weird. Stratal has a shipyard. Okay, I'm going to override that. There's no reason for them to go to Olam. They're going to go back to Stratal. Okay, fine. No big deal. That's weird. That's really weird that it would have them go there for repairs. I guess, do you not need a shipyard to do ship repairs? Do you only need a shipyard to repair new ships and to upgrade ships? But any station can repair a ship? Question? Okay. Research agreement proposal. The Juvens and the Nafankans are joining together in a research treaty. Very cool. And Natfankan and the Juvens are joining together in a commercial pact. Very cool. So this is interesting. Essentially, these three Xeno civilizations are having good ties and relations to each other. But I believe that does consume a certain amount of their influence to do that. Still not exactly clear on that. Still not exactly clear if that's sucking that up on their part. But I'll tell you, our monthly gains are massive. Still, we're sitting at a +5 influence. Really nice for us to be able to grow our empire at a good clip. Fleet combat, we don't need to look at. We looked at the commercial pact and system surveyed. Here, Bernard Star. Fantastic. Yeah, that actually is a pretty solid system. I think we're going to want to bring that into the fold pretty shortly here. So, where do we want to send the Gagarin? Where do we want to send Herman to? Let's send Herman to Runa. Sure. Survey there. Then we could take on some of these other anomalies. Who else do we got floating around here? The Russian ship has no orders. Gosh, admittedly, I'm not staying up on this too well right now. But yeah, let's actually have them go do that. So here, the Russian ship is going to go research that anomaly there in Orthama. We're starting to clear this out pretty well, though. We have surveyed all the systems. We're getting all of these anomalies researched. So ultimately, we may be able to send both of our science ships down into the southern arm to start filling in all this. So yeah, we're making good progress with that. And I should take a constructor. Are they working on that? Yeah, they're working on the mining station. We'll leave them to that. But what about our other ships? Let's pull the Adriatic out and have her go claim Bernard Star. I'm going to move her there first, just because it's going to take a while. That is literally a 3-year journey to get there. God, that's a long time. Ouch. But we don't really need more than one constructor to be doing what we're doing right now. And then, yeah, the India is in fact building out these stations at Brius, so that is fine. But yeah, once the Adriatic gets there, we'll claim Bernard Star. We'll have plenty of influence, and we'll run the clock. And we'll speed her back up to fastest mode. Always keep an eye on your colonies when you're running in fast mode. It's very easy for housing or loss of jobs to become a problem on a colony when the years are truly flying by in just a minute or two of play. Here we go. We've made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Strudma system. For now, we have codenamed them Boggles. Until we can find out more about them, if they possess language, we must decipher it in order to establish communications. Interesting. I'm going to pause because we want to jump up and we want to assign an envoy. Fortunately, we have one envoy left available. Remember, these two are essentially improving relations. There are emissaries, right? But we have a third available. They can take care of that. And we need to be careful now because we've already stated that we'd like Strudma to be our choke point because we want to gain access to these star systems. Now, it's possible these Xenos are natural wildlife, maybe, or they're coming from a civilization over here in this little arm. Double click, because, oh wow, look at that, actually goes out to there. That's probably the dead end. But we know at this stage of the game, 35 years in, an alien species in this arm would have come from further away. So realistically, they're coming from down here. So we want to rush to finish surveying this and then have the India rush in there and claim that system, thus sealing the soft force. Let's jump into Strudman and see if we can get eyes on what this looks like. Oh. Interesting. 235 firepower. It looks... I was going to say organic. Looks a mineral. That is actually really cool looking. I love that. Wow. What a fantastic bit of artwork there. That is really cool. Let's see what they do. Oh, they're just passing through? You can see they're going to the far waypoint there. So they're going to head to Brius. So, it's crystalline, I'm going to call it like wildlife. Galactic wildlife in this case. So we're at 40 minutes. Perfect. Okay, so we'll let that first contact proceed, and we have research completed. Fantastic. This is the chemical plant. Now, the reason we went after the building for volatile motes is because we have a limited access to volatile motes. We're playing on a tiny galaxy. You're only going to find so many rare resource pockets, so oftentimes you want to pursue the technologies to get as much of it as you can. So yeah. Aside from the obvious safety concerns, the artificial creation of volatile motes is an extremely delicate and complicated process that requires highly specialized equipment. But yeah, we can start start manufacturing them. Very cool. And you can see down here, the rare crystal resource, we're only 16 months away. Colonial centralization, we got the new planetary capital building in 2 months. So these technologies are going to be done very quickly. But for now, we need to choose a new physics research. Herman's not specialized in any physics, which is fine. And we have 5 total available. Cold fusion reactor will open up new pathways of technology. Plasma thrower is just a weapon. Point barrier defense, more weaponry, sure. Improved deflectors, that's defensive, and it's cheap at 3,600. That's the cheapest, so we could have that pretty quickly. We also have the mining drone laser. Let's jump on that. Since this is all sort of ship weapons based, right? This is either offense, defense, or ship power. They're all roughly the same tier of importance to us. But this has been sitting here for a while. Yeah, let's get the mining drone laser early while it's still good. I mean, eventually you'll just get a technology that's better than it. Now, a really good Stellaris player, or just a good Stellaris player, which I am not, will bypass technologies for redundant weapons or outdated stuff. So for instance, a good Stellaris player might look at the mining drone lasers and say, this would have been good 15 years ago, but now the plasma thrower is better. I don't know. Here, we can look here. A small plasma thrower is going to be 12 to 13 with an average damage per tick of 3.6, right? Like based off of cooldown, but there's also other things like accuracy tracking, range, all the stuff. But let's just look at this. It's coming to the 3.6. So we're going to say DPS. We look at the cutting laser, 4.72. So in this case, the mining drone laser, not cutting laser, is better that way. It outputs more damage. Now, it is weak against shields and good against armor and hull because it's made for cutting material, not energy force fields. Let's look at the plasma thrower. It is worse at shields, but way better at getting through armor. Okay, so even though one weapon may be better than another, there is sort of a rock, paper, scissors. It's kind of a generic way to state it, but the idea that there's still a reason why you might want to have both of those weapons, potentially. If you're going to go take on Vlur with all the energy shields, the plasma thrower would not be a good weapon. The mining drone laser would not be a good weapon, but it would be better than the plasma. So, whatever. You get it. But yeah, you know what? Hey, we have the mining drone laser. It's always going to be there until we learn it, so let's just learn it. We'll have it in 21 months. That's not bad. We'll have it pretty shortly. And yeah, let's run the clock here. Construction complete where? Where are you complete? Hold on. Oh yeah, we got our space nuts done right up there. Perfect. We'll leave the Yangtze there for now. And again, I don't think there's anything else we need her to work on. No. But we'll keep the Yangtze up in this area because there's quite a few systems we're going to need to build up over time. Lingol's looking pretty sweet. You know what? Let's jump back into Olam. She's still working on her gun batteries. When the Olam station is done, we will
System survey complete.
we will take a look at how the piracy and the trade routes have changed. All right, and we've got a system survey complete down here. It's Strudma. Fantastic. So the question is, do we stop expanding? Do we stop now? It's a real play question. In a lot of 4X space games, you just expand and expand as fast as you can, as far as you can. That's always the best strategy. But Stellaris, it's a strategy, but I can't say that it's the best strategy. I can't. We clearly haven't met the Xenos down here. We can keep going. We can just keep hitting these. I'm tempted to. I always like to play that way because every system we take is taking away from a Xeno. The reality is that let's talk about this. This is worth thinking about. All of the AI-driven civilizations will expand as far until they hit borders. So in that sense, that's the strategy the game plays with. These guys expand until their borders are completely filled. The only reason there's little pockets here and here is because there's some sort of other hostile alien, like a big pirate fleet or space wildlife, that's preventing the Juvens from grabbing these systems. That's pretty much what's going on. But yeah, otherwise, whoever this Xeno 5th species is down here is going to keep expanding till they hit us. Now we can stop here at Strudma, build our 6th starbase. You can see we have room for 1 starbase left, and fortify it, build up, put a fleet there, build up some defensive platforms, and we can be ready for them so that when they come to us, even if they're hostile, they can't get through. We'll be like, nah, you got to stop, right? And we can then repurpose these science ships to do the archaeology or start scouting out this other stuff. I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to be disciplined in my play and stop expanding here. Yeah. Now, the other thing to consider is that the more systems you expand, the more potential colonies you can get, the more rare resources and standard resources you can get, and the more anomalies you can find. Just the more cool Star Trek-y space missions can pop up, which is a fun part of playing the game. But we have so many left to backfill. As of right now, we're looking at 1, 2, over here, you can't see behind my face, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, I mean, we're sitting at 17, 18, the Runa. Yeah, I'm going to stop there. I almost never do, but I'm going to just try and be disciplined in my play and be like, no, we'll win with what we have. We're playing pretty wide, meaning, our empire's wide, but I'm going to say we're wide enough. Now we're going to start increasing its height. We're going to make it tall. So we'll be wide, and now we got to work on the tallness of it, meaning how deep is it? How well built up is it? So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Here we go. Let's send Jessica on to survey. See if I can give her a quick set of systems to explore. And there's one more way out here. Now, I'll tell you, a lot of times these far-flung... Here, let me, you see this guy way out here? A lot of times those have some unusual, cool little property when they're thrown way out there. I find that. They usually have a more rare... chances of a more rare thing than other systems. So they're fun to get to. But yeah, there we go. And then a new research completed. Fantastic. Colonial centralization, official capacity +1, commander +1, scientist +1, as well as the planetary capital building and the Hall of Judgment. So Hall of Judgment is going to get you a bunch of law enforcement jobs, +5. Yeah, if you ever need a lot of jobs for your people, you get that. One building gets 5 jobs. That's not bad. I mean, I don't know how much you need the stability and the armies and the reduction of crime. You shouldn't need too much of that, but it's whatever. It does take volatile motes, though, is upkeep. So caution. So this is one of our first really high-end buildings we've come across, but it will be like every turn, every one of those buildings, one mote. So you can imagine if you put one of those on all 7 of our planets, our colonies, 7 motes a turn. Yeah. But the planetary capital we do want to do. That's a massive upkeep of 8 energy. It's the most expensive building we have access to, but it's going to give us tons of valuable things in there. Tons. 2 enforcer jobs, 3 politician jobs. It's not bad. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. New research. We'll choose a new research, and while we have this open, let's just mouse over our rare resources. You can see our volatile motes are sitting at a massive +4. So we're doing pretty good with that. We're going to be saving those up quickly. They're the first one we have access to. But all right, so this is a society research. Remember, Herman is particularly good at biology and at statecraft. So if we can see a handshaky or a DNA helix, those are the ones we'd want to go through because he can learn them fastest. So at the top, xenodiplomacy, that's a handshaky. Interstellar fleet traditions, it's not bad. Some warfare stuff, but we're not that into warfare. And it's military. Let's keep going. Pop growth speed +10%. Yeah, that's one of those just like boilerplate good ones. Like it's never a bad thing for your pops to grow faster, but it doesn't really lead to anything else. The living state, faction resource output +10%. So that would be Unity. And the deep space black site. This is a star-based building. Government ethics attraction and stability for all the planets in that system with that starbase. Yeah, I don't think it projects out. I don't think you can cover more than the one system with that. I could be wrong. It doesn't explain that per se. Yeah, whatever. What else we got? Couple of blocker clearers. You can see we have partial research into each of these. That's cool, but we don't need it yet. I would say save your blocker clearing for the mid-game, past 2300. You got plenty of time. You have plenty of resources at that point. Your colonies will be pretty well developed, so we'll leave that. So yeah, what do we want? It's all good. Diplomatic weight, embassy complex. What would that get us? It would take a lot of space nuts. Rare. What are they? Rare crystals? Yeah, rare crystals, I think is what they're called. It's just rare crystals. It would give us an extra envoy. Planet limit, 1 building per planet. Each one will give us an extra envoy and an extra politician job. The empire modifier is 1 extra envoy. On the planet, you get 1 extra politician. So I believe having 2 embassy complexes does not give you 2 envoys. I don't know. It takes rare crystals to maintain it in a 5 energy upkeep. But the politicians are going to turn consumer goods into unity and amenities. It's not bad. It's not bad. Crap, do we want more? I honestly wouldn't mind another envoy, because if we're going to try and be peaceful as the humans with everyone else, we're maxed out at our 3 right now. We're not maxed out. Do we go for 1 more? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. There we go. Let's find out. I mean, that's what we're here to do, is find out. Although we're going to have to get access to rare crystals to utilize that technology. That's another high-level strat, by the way, is you may have a building that you want, and you're like, that looks like something I would like, but I don't have access to that rare resource. In my entire space empire, I don't have a single rare crystal resource. Do I go down that technology hole? Do I learn the technology to maybe make a factory that can make rare crystals, and now that I can build them on planets, now it's accessible? Maybe. If you look here, exploit the resource, though, I believe just allows us to make a space mining station. It is not a factory. And if Oh, there are some rare crystals, though. So it'll work out. It'll work out in the end because we actually do have access to rare crystals, and that'll get us this. But just so you know, the rare crystal mining is a mining station in space, not the planetary building. So if we didn't have these rare crystals right here, we would have a very tough time getting those rare crystals. We would probably have to purchase them all off the market, the galactic market. But then you can imagine if you're buying those crystals that say 8 energy a pop per month, and you need 1 or 2 of them for your embassy complex, on top of the base energy upkeep, now that embassy complex may be costing us 13 energy a month instead of 5 in a space crystal. It gets expensive real fast. But I think this will all work out because we do have the energy crystals coming along. Let's run that clock. Well, that was a lot of talking. I love talking so much. Here we go. Ooh, mushroom picking. A routine ecological study of our colony at Niam Prime has stumbled upon a strange fungal life form. Oh my god, Niam cannot get a break. These people is a hellhole where they live. The science team reports that the surface of the mycelium is shimmering and colorful, but what was most intriguing to them was the fact that separate clusters were seemingly communicating with one another through something whenever something occurred within a wide radius. Furthermore, the biology of the organism appears to be clearly alien to the ecosystem of the colony. That's bad. We should be the only Xenos there. We should be the only alien life forms outside of the native ones, not these mushrooms. Puzzled, the local science team has requested specialized support as we might be dealing with a sentient species. Dispose of them? We will gain 80 influence if we do that, and 100 food. 1,000 food, sorry. Or take a closer look. It doesn't tell us yet. It's probably going to open up a special situation report thing. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop the clock again because we're sitting pretty fat on our influence right now. We're waiting for them to finish. God, we got a ways to go. We have a lot of influence. I'm just trying to think about how to spend it, but ultimately we know we're going to want to grab Bernard's star, so we'll just run the clock ahead here. We'll let it go. Oh, a couple things popped off. I just realized we got the new Capitol building improvement. So this arrow means the planet's Capitol building is ready to be upgraded. Never let that sit. Those are really valuable upgrades, like priority 1 upgrades. So let's jump to our Capitol. And you can see here, it is eligible, and you'll notice, like, if we skip over to Alpha Centauri, they're not eligible because the total pops need to be greater than or equal to 25. So our next biggest colony, Centauri Prime, is at 13. Yeah, so they have a ways to go. But our main homeworld, Earth, is ready. So yeah, this is big. We want this. It's going to take 480, a year and a half to do. Well worth it, though. Well worth it. Boom. Yeah, this is going to be really nice for Earth. Okay, that's cool. They're doing that. And I want to jump in here real quick to Uproth. They're doing okay. They actually got their first... No, I'm thinking of... Sorry, Lishol? Who am I thinking of? Niam. There we go. They still haven't gotten their first medical worker. Damn it. I want to see what the medical worker does with the habitability, but it's fine. So let's jump back to Earth. We're going to cycle through real quick, just checking housing, amenities, and jobs. We want at least +2 in all of these categories. It's reasonable. Getting a little tight there. One more entertainer, though, will help out with amenities on that. It's reasonable. Reasonable. Lot of amenities. Holy crud. Very cool. That's Niam, yeah. What were we going to do with Niam? I have no recollection. We do need more housing. Let's just get a city district going there. It'll give us quite a bit more housing, and it'll provide like a clerk job and a building slot. So it's a good choice early on. And that's colonized. Okay, there we go. That's all good. We have repairs completed to the fleet. That's right. This is the first fleet that fought the pirates. So that's handled. No upgrades right now, I don't think. And then finally, tradition available. Fantastic. It's been a little bit. 2 options for us. Unlocks the Edict Enhanced Surveillance, and Enforcers will produce 1 unity on top of Stability, Crime, Defensive Armies. I think that's what they provide. So, I don't really want it, but at some point we'll need to take it to get this. But otherwise, we have this Counselor Experience gain, plus 20%, Edict Fund plus 50. That I want. I want that Edict Fund right now. Yes. And we're 52 months out from the next one, so we're moving through pretty well. Let's jump into our government policies and edicts tab. This will be the last thing we do for today. That 50... Hold on, I'm going to run the month around real quick. There we go. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't going to adjust further. Let's read this event, and then we're going to take a look, because I think we can pick one more edict. The spores have ears. We've concerning reports coming from Niam Prime. Upon further examination, it seems that the alien fungus we found is emitting a signal towards a location in the galaxy that we were unable to pinpoint so far. That's fantastic. Telemetry and security analysis indicate that it is completely possible for the mycelium to be some kind of advanced spying organism. However, it is worth noting that this organism is old. There's a fair chance that whomever engineered these spine mushrooms is not around anymore. But if they are, it might be best not to poke the sleeping predator. Plant. Is fungus a predator? Fungus gets us all in the end. We need to know more. I would agree. We would gain science research right now, society research, or it's too risky to destroy them, influence gain. So look at this. On our last opportunity, we could have picked the mushrooms and gotten twice the amount of influence and 1,000 food. But we skipped on that option. Now, on the next cycle of this quest chain, this event chain, it's saying now you can destroy them, but you get way less. It would have been way smarter to have destroyed them early on. So we're gonna keep researching and we're gonna see what happens here. Hopefully the mushroom people won't come for us. What are you gonna do? Okay. Oh wow. Interesting. I was just thinking, with fungus, you know why coal? We have coal deposits on Earth, but the Earth isn't making more coal, right? It was all made like 80 billion, 100 billion years ago. I don't know. It's like, well, why isn't there just more and more coal being made? Well, apparently, back during the Carboniferous, or one of the eras of Earth's geological history, trees and plants were covering the surface of the planet. Lush jungles, hot, wet, dropping down the leaves, the trunks, the bark, whatever, needles. Plants were dying off. And they're all based off the cellulose structure, right? Cellulose is what gives wood its structure. That's why we can build homes out of wood. Cellulose. It's just a bunch of plant skeletons, right? All this here, it's plant skeleton, or it's plastic. I don't know. No, that's real wood. That's from like the 70s. So, but all the plants would build up hundreds of meters deep sometimes in swamps and wetlands. The forest would just grow on top of itself, season after season after season, just getting crazy thick, and then that would be compressed down by thousands of tons of atmospheres of pressure as the material gets meters, and then tens of meters, hundreds of meters deep, and then rock and sediment goes on top of that, turns into coal over tens of millions of years. But it doesn't happen anymore because cellulose was evolved by plants, by life forms, before other life forms had the ability to break down cellulose. Sometime into that period of this plant growth in the deposits of cellulose, fungus came along and gained the ability to consume and break down cellulose for energy. Anyone who's ever grabbed an old fence post outside or on their house and it crumbles like a sponge, that's dry rot. That is essentially a fungus just eating the cellulose away, leaving almost nothing. And so because fungus evolved, fungus was around before plants and trees, but fungus gain the ability to digest cellulose, and therefore plant material anywhere on the planet, for the most part, cannot build up in those massive meter thick layers anymore. It doesn't happen. Fungus gets it before it can turn into coal. That's why we don't have an endless supply. You just say, oh, there's coal from 100 million years ago, and 90 million, and 50 million, and 10 million. And even now, new deposits of coal are being formed in the earth, and the process will go on for a billion years from now. There'll still be, no. As long as the fungus is able to eat the cellulose, you don't get no more coal. And I didn't know that. I learned that a few years ago, that was the change. That was the thing that turned off the tap for coal generation was fungus. Okay. Last thing, though. I know we're long here. An hour and 5. We gained 50. That's awesome. There's the Privy Council plus 50. What do we want? We have a couple cheapies. We could potentially get 2 of these, or we could maybe bite off into one expensive one. Now, currently, we're pushing out Map the Stars. These are energy-based. These are volatile moat-based. Oh, wow. Land clearances for blockers. Clearing blockers. We're not doing that yet. Volatile ammunition is weapon damage increases. Volatile explosives. Explosive damage, like missiles, torpedoes. And reactive armor is a hit point bonus. So if we are going to get into a fight anytime soon with any of our fleets, against pirates, against Xenos, against space flora and fauna, we'll want to come in and we'll want to turn these on. That'll greatly, immediately, and temporarily increase the firepower and armor of our fleets. So we need to lock that into our brain that that's here. And then you'd want to turn it off as quick as you can. You're going to use it. You could turn this on a day before your fleet goes into battle. Like as they're flying towards the enemies in the solar system, they're just seconds away from engagement. You can click this on and it'll instantly boost them. We'll talk about that topic on the next battle we run into. But we didn't have this option before because we didn't have access to volatile moats. We do now. All right? This is also a good reason why you want to piggy bank a lot of volatile moats. Okay. We have our energy options, which we're doing. Yeah, we have them both turned on because we have tons of overhead energy. So we're actually spending 84 energy a month because we want the educational and the recycling campaign. That's really good for us. Good news is we have tons of additional energy overhead. So we could even support more energy-based edicts. But let's focus in on our edict fund base. These are unity based. So we have land of opportunity, immigration pool plus 100%, pop growth from immigration plus 25%. Sounds good. I wouldn't mind that. That's a great way to grow your pops, especially when you have access to people like the Juvens, right? They can just like, come on in. We don't want to grow you. We'll let them grow you, and then we'll just steal you. Yeah, that's good. Encourage political thought. Ethics shift chance 100%. I'm not worried about. I don't want to try and shift the ethics. Research subsidies. That's a good one. Researchers' output is plus 10%. Energy credit upkeep for each researcher goes up by 1. So each scientist we have working in a lab, it'll cost us 1 more energy. We know we can afford that energy cost, though. Like, say we have 20 researchers in our empire. That's going to cost us 20 more energy a month. Not a big deal, though. We have tons of surplus energy. So that may be worth doing. But that's expensive at 84. We have mapped the stars on right now because that's the survey speed and anomaly discovery chance and ship hyperlane detection range of +1. So there's a little bit of military defensive capability with that and just more anomalies and faster surveying. We want to keep that on. But yeah, I like research subsidies. We have capacity subsidies. Technician output plus 50%, but energy credit upkeep for technicians is plus a half of an energy per month. Just like the researchers. If you have 20 energy technicians, that's going to cost you 10 extra energy a month. But their output will go up 50. And considering their output right now is probably sitting at like 100 just from the jobs. Right there. Produced jobs, 230. That means that would go up 50%. That would go up to 345. For probably 10 or 20 energy. That's a pretty good deal. We don't need more energy, though, to be just blunt. Fleet supremacy, ship starting experience, ship build speed, diplomatic weight from fleet power. We don't need that. Fortify the border. Starbase upgrade speed and starbase capacity +2. It's not bad. We could easily turn on these two. But I really want the research right now. If we do that, it puts us over our limit by 30. That's going to dig in right there. That's not awesome. It's not a great use of our Unity. We're at 52 months till our next tradition. That's going to chip away about 15%. So it's going to push that up to probably 65 months. But it gets our research faster. Yeah, let's do it. We'll bite the bullet on that. I'll run the clock forward just a bit right there. You see there it dropped. Took a pretty big dip. And if I click on that now, we're at 61 months. So yeah, we lost 9. No big deal. I think that's it for now. Our research is going to be going a little bit faster. I really want to get these technologies quickly. Get those space nuts harvesting right there. We might have another couple places. So yeah, that's what we'll look at. We'll finish off this round of research in the next session. Those will all be done quickly. And we will continue to expand down here. And actually, let's remember to try and get Strudma claimed and get a starbase going there. We're going to get our 6th and final starbase at Strudma. And that'll be the end cap for our society. All right. If you watched, I appreciate your time. Hope you had a good time, and I'll see you next weekend. I hope.